find someone deep into the second round, maybe top of the third round, that gives you value on the offensive line.
Or knowing when to pass.
You can say that about quite a few positions. Not necessarily QB. If you need someone in the next 2 years to be dominant.
Yeah, it's not just a comparison of players. It is also, is this linebacker crop, just because you're the best of this crop, are you going to work out in the NFL?
Yeah.
You might not get any of them work out. Or you might get the best one at, the fourth best rated linebacker within their positional group.
And don't forget, that's what your coaching staff is there for. These guys are here to still develop. They're not here for 2 years. They're here for a lifetime in the NFL.
Yeah, so I guess
that is your job.
To answer the question, because we got the 2 first-round picks and the third, yes, I still like this trade.
Yep.
Number 32, you can go. If we need a linebacker so badly, we still can get the best linebacker in this draft at number 32. And it might not be Nakobe Dean, but it might end up being Chad Muma. You just don't know.
Exactly. No, I think that's exactly right. I would take this deal time and time again because I talked about it last year. It was the quantity over quality. I feel like that's one of my go-tos right now. I did it with the Lions. I'll get into it with the Pistons when we start talking about the Pistons here in a bit. It's like the Lions when you like. All right, let's use the Stafford Lions as an example, right? And we had top-end talent. We had Stafford. We had Calvin Johnson, one of the best wide receivers in the league. We had Ndamukong Suh, the best player at his position. He's still doing what he does. He's not extremely good anymore, but he was the best player at that position for a long time. And we had really high-end talent. What were we missing? The quantity of high-end or of talent in general. It was like we have this and nothing else. And that's what the problem was. And when you have quantity, you can miss on your second-round pick time and time again. That can happen because you have the extra first-round pick.
Yeah.
And you can take chances. You can reach for a guy because you have that opportunity and get the player that you actually like and not just be like, we got to take this guy because we're told he's the best player available.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You can change your mindset when you have the quantity. And then you can also turn quantity into quality by moving around in the draft. You move up, you give up a third-round pick along with your first-round pick to move up 6 picks and get the right guy ahead of the Packers or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like that's where this is what this team's about. That's what rebuilds are about. When you're rebuilding, it's not about getting we want the best wide receiver now.
Yeah.
We want the best defensive tackle because he's there. Well, I mean, yeah, it's great to have that, but instead let's add pieces that can be maybe not the best at his position, but a starter. And we're not spending the money on these guys. And it's really the right way to build when you're trying to rebuild. And you look at these teams, look at the Rams, they've done it through the draft. Yeah, they brought in a lot of free agents and stuff, but it's depth guys in the draft that have really made this team what they are on top of the elite talent that they're bringing in. But I don't know. It's like I still love it. I would rather take this rather than have Penei Sewell and Micah Parsons right now. I'm good with just having Penei Sewell. I don't need Micah Parsons. Because that type of talent, that type of player is a luxury. We're not in the mood for luxury right now. We need to build a foundation, and then we'll put the luxury on top when this rebuild's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're not ready to win yet, so why be on his 4th or 5th year of his contract all at once, as we're starting to get good enough to win? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I for the people that think the Panthers was the better pick, or the better trade, I think you just got to look at the way that these teams play. It's all about multiple good players on your roster. And it's not about the high end only. It's just about building. And you need multiple pieces to really build. But we are locked in at 2 in 32, which is a perfect reason to do our mock draft.
Yes.
3.0. So I did find one. This is a 3-round draft.
Ooh, really?
So I don't want to go too crazy on this. Like I don't know how we're sitting with time and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Not worried about
John. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, John, how we doing? Just keep your mouth shut if we're sitting good.
We're not
live,
good. So
we are now. I did figure it out.
You did?
I did. I don't know what happened. Like this is really weird, but I had to refresh that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we're live.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes.
How do we want to do this? We've done it multiple ways. You want me to just like tell you some of the players that are available with these picks, and then you guys can make your picks, or do you just want to talk about what this mock draft does, and then we'll discuss where they're right and wrong? Let's do that. Want to do that instead of... All right.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Do it.
All right.
Have you done a lot of research on the draft and the prospects that the Packers might be looking for?
No, not yet.
The Packers trade up in this mock draft, so this one has trades.
Quite honestly, they've got them taking a wide receiver. I don't know. Okay, I've looked at like a dozen of them. Taking a wide receiver, and that never happens.
No.
They did it. They said it last year, the year before. It never happens.
But it seems like a good year to trade up for a quarterback.
Or dump them.
Yeah.
All right. Jacksonville's pick is in. They're taking Evan Neal, offensive tackle out of Alabama.
Smart.
Which leaves the Lions with their choice.
Best case scenario.
Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson. Those are the two that we're looking at if we're in this position, right?
Yep.
This pick is actually whose is this? I want to look it up a second. Chad Reuter from NFL.com. His pick is in. And he selects Aiden Hutchinson, edge, out of Michigan. And this is what he says. Keeping the winner of the 2021 Ted Hendricks Top DE and Lombardi Top Lineman awards in Michigan will, of course, help the team's pass rush. Hutchinson, toughness against the run, and football intelligence. However, man, I just blew this. What else is new? Also played big roles in making him the Heisman Trophy runner-up and top 5 prospect. He was runner-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
It wasn't.
I think I did, and I just forgot. Because who cares, right?
It wasn't extremely close, but he got a lot of votes.
So that is who they're taking.
Nothing wrong.
Do you think
with
that's
that.
the right pick in this situation? Have you landed the plane on Thibodeau or Hutchinson, or are you guys just keeping your mind open and be like, want to see the combine, want to see what happens? Like
I have.
You landed?
I like Aiden Hutchinson more.
You do?
Than Thibodeau, yes.
I think, gun to head, I would rather have Thibodeau
Yeah.
right now.
Oh,
But-
really?
Yeah, I would.
I agree with Ryan.
I just
So-
think
Ryan.
I think locker room guy. Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I
Yeah.
do not need to see combine stuff with either of these guys. I don't. You've seen it on the field. High horse, high energy, both of those guys. And go watch the film. Tell me who you like.
I think that's a really good example.
And I
Or
think,
good point.
And I think that's kind of what you're getting at. I've watched Aiden Hutchinson all year. I've seen highlights of Thibodeau, but in all fairness, I probably should watch a little bit more Thibodeau and then make a decision. But right now, it's a no-brainer to go Aiden.
Basically, I'm keeping my mind open to what Thibodeau was in heading into the year and the prospect that he already was based on his measurables and all of those type of things. Not saying Aiden Hutchinson wasn't, so I don't think that's fair. But basically, I'm going into this being like, okay, combine, interviews, all this process, Thibodeau, show me why you are better than Aiden Hutchinson. I'm expecting to see it. I'm open to that, basically, is what it is. I don't want to be blinded by Michigan guy, what I've seen. Like, I'm okay with being told, no, there's going head-to-head in measurables, and it is obvious that Thibodeau's the better fit for, like, the NFL. That's basically what I'm open to, and I'm expecting that they'll be telling us that when the time comes. I guess is where I'm at. But
I think Hutchinson is, I don't know, I think he will always be effective because of his motor. I think he has elite hands to just kind of shove off blockers. And if we've learned anything from Aaron Donald, there's not one way to do something. He looks like a bowling ball, just kind of like, or bouncy ball rather, just bouncing around from double teams, and then he's at the quarterback suddenly. Like, I don't understand how Aaron Donald is so good. And I think Hutchinson has way more of that in him than Thibodeau does. He will always be chasing the quarterback down from behind. He is a freak athlete that can, I don't know, just even when something goes wrong, he's going to be there to clean it up.
that's fair. A couple more interesting picks here in the top 10 that I thought were interesting. Carolina Panthers traded up to number 3 to take Malik Willis, first quarterback off the board. Kyle Hamilton at 4. Thibodeau went down to 6,
Wow.
which was to the Texans with the trade. Devin Lloyd all the way up in the top 7, linebacker out of Utah. That was interesting. David Ajabo, number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons.
Attaboy.
Two quarterbacks here. Number 9, Denver Broncos, Kenny Pickett. Number 10, Steelers traded up to take Sam Howell. So, what is that, 4 quarterbacks or 3? 3 quarterbacks in the top 10, which would love that. Let's keep that going.
Yeah,
let's make it 4.
Yep.
Corral, number 11. So 3 quarterbacks in a row there.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know why Corral would go there, but anyways, that was
Where's
for
Washington?
That was the Commanders.
Commanders.
They commanded their new quarterback to say, "Come here."
I like your old name.
Cleveland Browns took Treylon Burks at 13. Jordan Davis went to the Chargers at 17.
Yeah, it's pretty popular right now. What about the Ravens? So I know they're a little bit. I don't know actually where they are.
Ravens.
If a
Baltimore Ravens took Trevor Pennington, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa.
If a Jabo starts falling in the draft, I would predict.
You think he's going to go there?
He would go to the Ravens.
I think that's a good. Yeah, with the McDonald connection, the Harbaugh connection. Yeah. That's actually a really good point.
It's a need for them too.
Trent McGuffey, cornerback, went to the
him.
Arizona Cardinals at 23. Dallas Cowboys took Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, out of Ohio State.
Oh my gosh.
One. This is the.
That high?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Why are they going wide receiver?
I don't know.
Huh.
N'Kobe Dean went to Tennessee Titans at 26. Interesting name there.
Okay.
George Pickens.
That's a good pick.
George Pickens, 28.
Ooh.
That's the first I've seen him in the first round, which is interesting. Ahead of nobody. I don't know who I was going to talk about there.
I like George Pickens.
I do too. I was hoping that he would fall third round.
He's a good prospect.
So the Lions are on the clock at 32. You just want me to tell you who they took? Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
The pick's in. With the 32nd pick, the Detroit Lions select. Do you have any guesses?
Well, Daxton Hill's still out there, but he's fallen into the mid-second lately in mock drafts.
I've seen him in first the last
I've
two
seen him in a
drafts.
lot of first, but this is the first time he has been this low, I would say, that I've seen.
Let's see. There's been some linebackers off the board, so that doesn't really fit. Wide receiver most likely, so it's got to be Chris Olave.
Jahan Dotson.
Their pick is in. The Detroit Lions select Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati. This is what they say. In my opinion, or this is what Chad says. In my opinion, Ridder played well enough for the Bearcats and at the Senior Bowl to earn a top 50 grade. The Lions could select Ridder to eventually take over for Jared Goff, or they could trade this pick to a different team looking to land a future quarterback, whose contract will include a 5th-year option. That's the interesting part, is they're saying he deserves to be picked. People are going to care about that. So keep picking him in the first round, gets you that extra year of control.
I get why you're picking him there instead of in 2 picks in the second, but man, I hope we don't draft Desmond Ridder.
That would be very, very disappointing.
Yeah.
That would make me be the biggest Goff fan of all time. Be like, Goff, don't let this ever go to Desmond Ridder's name.
I might become a Rams fan.
All right.
Get one of them Super Bowls.
Second round. So the Jacksonville Jaguars select Jahan Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State.
That was close.
So the Lions are on the clock at 34. You guys already mentioned this name, but their pick's in. His pick is in. I don't know why I keep saying third. The Detroit Lions select Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan.
Nice pick.
Couple names that are still on the board. You got Chris Olave, Lewis Seen, safety out of Georgia.
Yeah, not a
He is
fan.
Fire.
You don't like him?
I don't
Oh, man, I'm falling in love with that guy.
Yeah.
I really am. Any other interesting names that you guys... Jaquan Brisker is still on the board there. Channing Tindall, linebacker out of Georgia. David Bell, the wide receiver out of Purdue is still on the board. And they went with Daxton Hill. Don't hate it. I like Lewis Seen better than Daxton Hill as an NFL prospect, personally.
What about in the secondary that the Lions currently have? Let's assume that what's his name? Sorry.
I know
Tracy
who you're
Walker.
talking- Yeah.
Let's assume Tracy Walker comes back. How does that pairing fit together between Daxton Hill and Tracy Walker?
At that point, I don't think you take a safety period then, in my opinion.
It's still going to be a positional need, but it's not a make or break thing.
I don't think it's this high.
Yeah.
Now, look, to be
quantity
completely
thing.
honest, the way that these safeties work together or don't, like, that's way above what I know. I look at what they did, and does it fit with their scheme? I have no clue. I'm not going to pretend that I do.
Yeah. What's hard about safety is, like, do you want the ball hawk guy that just sits back and lets plays come in front of him over and over and over and let them drive down the field, but then he'll get the turnover? Or do you want a lockdown guy that prevents them from getting, the play in Daxton Hill? That's what Daxton Hill does. He's not a ball hawk. He didn't have that many. Well, I think he can be, but that wasn't his role with Michigan. So it's really projecting that into the NFL.
Some interesting names. So, Chris Olave went to the Chicago Bears at 39. That one was interesting. Louis Seen, 42 to the Commanders.
Wait, Olave went 39?
Yeah, so he was still on the board too.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Enjoy losing with Justin.
Jalen Petrie.
Think about getting Olave
Another
in this
safety.
whole mix, too, instead of Desmond Ritter. We'd have Olave
Yeah, I mean,
Dax Hill.
that's a great point.
and Aiden Hutchinson. Come on. I would take that all day.
QA Walker Quay.
Q&A.
He went to the Packers at 59. Yeah, that's,
Quay Walker's a good linebacker.
so is Channing Tindall.
Yeah.
3 linebackers in the top
Where did
2
Chad?
rounds.
Where did Chad Muma go? Put him on the spot, and then Chanel too.
I don't know why I
Leo
didn't.
Chanel, from
Said Muma?
Wisconsin. Yeah, Chad Muma. Is he a first rounder,
I'm assuming so.
or are we gonna get him in the third round?
I do not see him on here.
If we get him in the third round, that'd be terrific. All right, never mind. We can move on.
Here, you can look at those if you guys can find it in there. Maybe I'm just missing it. We're in the 3rd round now, correct?
Third
We
round.
already did the 2nd round?
Yeah.
All right, 3rd round pick.
Ooh, Devontae Wyatt went to the Bengals. I like Devontae Wyatt.
Where do your compensatory picks comes in?
So we get 1 compensatory pick in the 3rd round. So we got 2 picks in the 3rd round, and I think we have another 5th and 6th. I think.
Did we get?
Compensatory picks or just
Yeah.
one?
I think we
I think
got.
we get 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
Third-
thought you said
pretty
just
sure-
one.
Fifth and sixth.
Is it 5th and 6th?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
that's my best guess too.
So here we are in the 2nd round. The Jacksonville Jaguars take Boy Mafe. That's how you say it?
Yeah, good prospect.
Minnesota Edge. The Lions are on the board. So you got some names out there. You got David Bell. You got
Ooh,
Christian Harris, the linebacker. You got Chad Muma still on the board. He is on here. So you know that the Lions didn't take him. I don't know. You got some decent names on here. Lot of value. And the Lions pick is in. You have any guesses?
I think I'm gonna hate it. Is it
The
Haskell
Detroit
Garrett?
Lions select David Bell, wide
Oh.
receiver out of Purdue. I do not hate that.
Oh, I don't
I've
hate that at
actually, you know me with my things that I do.
Yep.
I usually take him.
Why are you
I
pointing at me?
usually take him with my 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah.
So if we can get him in the 3rd round,
Look, if David Bell's there in the 3rd
Whoop.
round, I don't care if we drafted Olave in the 1st. Go get
oh
David
my
Bell
gosh,
too.
there have been times that I do that. Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant was in this too. Was still available.
Good prospect.
So some interesting names that are worth talking about.
Micah's just floored.
Chad Muma, 85 to the Patriots. Ugh, that would suck. Who did I say? Christian Harris. He went to the Cleveland Browns at 78. Anybody? Any other questions out there?
Who was the middle linebacker for the Cowboys? for
Kobe
a long time?
Bryant went to the Denver Broncos. What's that? Sorry.
Who was the middle linebacker? The white guy.
Van Der Esch?
No, for the Cowboys for a long time.
Van Der Esch?
Ooh.
For
I don't know.
All right, never mind.
Are you sure it's not Van Der
It
Esch?
just reminds me of Chad Muma, but I can look it up. How about that?
Pretty
I'll
sure
look
it's
it up.
Van Der Esch.
I'll look it up. No, it's not.
he's a white linebacker for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know. There's been more than one.
Now I know you're right. No, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of who his name is. Anyways, Kobe Bryant went to the Denver Broncos at 96th overall. Haskell Garrett went to the Cleveland Browns at 101. Why do I have this here? I thought the Lions had another pick. Oh.
Sean Lee is who I was thinking.
Sean Lee. Okay. So Kobe Bryant went to the Denver Broncos at 96, which I already said. And the Lions are on the clock at 97. And their pick's in. The Detroit Lions select Troy Anderson, linebacker out of Montana State.
Yeah.
They could have taken Haskell Garrett. They could have taken Sam Williams, decent edge out of Mississippi. So, I don't know much about him. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight or tomorrow night. I will be looking at
YouTubing
Anderson.
I
want to know more about him. One thing that really ticked me off was they were one pick away from Kobe Bryant, who I would love at that stage. You told me to look at him. I looked at him. And I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I didn't have any more. What did you think about that draft in general?
I could walk away from that draft feeling good about it, except for the Desmond Ridder pick. I don't know. I'm not ready to just give a guy a chance and like develop into this thing. I want an elite talent, somebody who just does it in their sleep, and I don't think that's him.
You want a Joe Cool?
Yeah, I do. I want somebody that is just like a no-brainer, somebody who performs on the field. It's not like a project or they're trying to project something that they saw out of him. So he had a pretty decent Senior Bowl. Like, he didn't go score a whole bunch of touchdowns for him, right? It was a really low-scoring Senior Bowl. So why are we pretending that a good showing at the Senior Bowl was really, really good?
Yeah, I've never heard, this guy had a good Senior Bowl and was going to translate to a good NFL career.
You like evaluate offensive and defensive linemen and maybe linebackers in the Senior Bowl because it's really contact-driven. So, but not your quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Drinking craft beer, having fun, and talking sports in the state of Michigan. You're listening to State of My Sports.
Before we get into the main topic of episode 144, I want to remind everyone that the Hops Brewing Company and Cafe is open and pouring some of the best craft beer in West Michigan. Their revamped food menu, rotating taps, wine, and ciders make the Hops perfect for whatever you have going on. From dinner with the family, late night drinks with friends, and everything in between, the Hops is becoming a staple in the West Michigan restaurant community that we highly recommend to our friends and listeners. Hit up Taco Tuesday, which is $2.50 per taco. You can get a nice margarita seltzer that matches well. They got a new menu out basically that started last week when we were there.
It's awesome.
You took your family. How did that go?
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, everybody loved the food. We just had Ari for the night, so we brought him, and it was like a special thing we did with him, and he couldn't get enough of the fish tacos. He loved it. Yeah.
So then the mahi tacos, that's new last week, I think.
Yep.
They also have Not Your Father's grilled cheese, and smothered fries, which I really want to try. We were there last week before the podcast, and Andrea's trying to save money. Shout out to Andrea. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's her birthday today. I should probably say
birthday.
that just in case she listens. She won't, but it's just in case.
She might hear you
now
from
it was
upstairs.
in here, and now she knows. No, but shout out to Andrea. Love you, Andrea. But yeah, we're getting prepared to order, and I'm like, what do you think about getting the smothered fries? And we'll just have those. And she goes, yeah, we'll do the smothered fries. I was like, all right, sweet. So then the person comes to take our order, and I'm like, we're going to start with the smothered fries to kind of get something out here quick. And she goes, I thought we were just getting regular fries. I'm like, I said smothered fries. I'm like, just go with the regular fries. They're cheaper. And so that was my story.
That was your story.
I
got the salmon.
I just want to try the smothered fries.
I got the salmon, so I didn't even go with the tacos or anything.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was
that?
excellent. It was absolutely terrific, yeah.
I recommend for the salmon.
The Hops is the official brewery of State of My Sports, and if you mention State of My Sports, you get a nice little discount off your first beer. I'm also talking to them about maybe doing a draft party there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So it'll be Thursday, the first round. We'll do a live stream like we did last year. We kind of did that. We watching the little draft. So
that'd be
keep that open on your calendars. So.
All right. First weekend of what? May?
September. No, it's April. Last weekend in April.
Last weekend in April.
Yeah.
Right.
So
April.
don't put it on your calendars yet, unless you want to, listeners. But we'll let you know if it's official and when it's official. Anyways, I did want to wrap up the NFL season. Sadly, I love the NFL. I love talking football. I love football season because it makes my life really easy for the podcast. But I did want to talk about some of the stuff that happened. What do you guys think the biggest surprise was? Is the easy answer is Bengals, right? But what is there anything in particular? Was it just Joe Burrow and the way that he responded from his ACL injury? Like, what was your guys' biggest surprise?
A total of being sacked 70 times this season and still performing somehow, some way like that.
What is it? Fourth highest total ever in a season?
Behind 3 Stafford seasons?
It's remarkable. It's remarkable that not only him, but the rest of his team helped get them that far with their quarterback just getting smoked.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Big part of that, absolutely. I think maybe what I'm going to remember is this is, I guess 2 things. The year Stafford won the Super Bowl, the first year without, Stafford on the lines, but then also Tom Brady's final year.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something to mark down and just remember.
Man, I wonder if it is. But yeah.
It might not be.
It's crazy that it seemed like the decision was made so fast. And yeah, I mean, that's what the story really should be, I think, is the best of all times.
Yeah.
Last season. And who knocked him out? Matthew Stafford.
And didn't he lead the league in touchdown passes? Brady? And yards?
That I don't know, to be honest.
This year? I don't know.
Yeah, we should look up his stats, but I'm telling you, he had an amazing year too, and I mean,
oh yeah,
he's going out on top.
You know what? I think the extra drama that happened with that team with the AB stuff, the coach hit a player, like all of those, like that. I just felt like the way that the Buccaneers were going was the issue. And that's why he's just like, all right, I can't do this.
Yeah, possibly.
I need to separate myself from this, and I'll take a year off and come back, or come back mid-year, or, training comes around, and he's back at it.
The Lions are doing a little bit better than everybody thought. He can jump right in.
Yeah, Jared Goff goes down. Yeah. Maybe.
Ooh, we get a good draft
Small
pick.
hands Goff.
Baby hands.
That's why I don't want to
What was the biggest disappointing player or team for you guys?
Most disappointing player or
team?
So
obviously I don't want to make this like about the Lions. Obviously it's disappointing when they suck, but like I mean like somebody that you thought was going to be better than it was this year.
The Browns imploded bad.
That's a really good one.
Baker
The Browns,
Mayfield.
yeah.
I think everyone
That might have had a lot to do with how
more.
the Bengals kind of skyrocketed up.
But yeah, I'd say Browns. I mean, overall, it just kind of.
I think that's a really good one.
Just imploded.
Really
I
do.
don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I'm thinking Saints too with Jameis Winston. The Jameis Winston experience. Nobody really knew how that was going to work out, and they ended up going through 4 or 5 different quarterbacks, and Trevor Siemian ending the year with them, and like that just. But yet they still won games.
Yeah,
mark of a good.
There's a couple that stand out to me, and I think they're 2 teams that would have done really good if they snuck into the playoffs. Was the Colts. I would have been really interested to see what they would have done to this playoff field, because I think they were playing pretty good, and then that debacle against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and also the Chargers.
Yep.
I think they're a very good team that probably should have made the playoffs, and they screwed it over. I guess they screwed it up when actually Jacksonville really screwed it up.
Well,
right?
I was going to say Jacksonville's maybe the funniest story out there.
Yeah. Winning that game. Oh, yeah, with the whole Urban Meyer stuff.
Man.
I keep forgetting that was this year.
Yeah.
That was bizarre.
I've got one for you. My most disappointing player, Jeffrey Yokuda.
He played what, 6 snaps?
Yeah.
And then he snapped his Achilles?
Yeah, that was really disappointing.
That was
Just saying,
disappointing.
I was looking for big things out of him. All the reports were from the coaching staff like, hey, he's a different guy.
Yeah.
You're going to see a different Yokuda this year.
Based on what we saw with the players that took steps forward, I believe that this coaching staff was right about Yokuda, and
Yeah, I do
will be right about Yokuda. I'm still not gonna give up on that guy.
Yeah, I'm not there
the
yet
way
either.
other fans are.
Yeah.
Any things that stand out to you that you were right about and that you were wrong about, like just whether we said it on the podcast or not, but just like something that you thought you made up, you thought you were right and you got proven wrong. One that stands out to me, and it's not necessarily like I thought I was right, but it was like I wondered how the guys that sat out were going to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like the Jamar Chases, the Micah Parsons, Penny Sewell. It was like, how are these guys going to go? Like, do? Like, taking a year off and coming in and, like, lots of questions.
Yeah.
All three of those guys had unbelievable seasons.
Great rookie years.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive the way that those guys took a year off. And I'm nervous that this could be a little glimpse into the upcoming years here in college, because the opt-outs seem to be getting earlier and earlier, and you never know, right? Like, these guys
when you're
could do
playing
it
for meaningless bowl games.
Yeah, but I mean like pulling the Bosa type thing. I mean, like, I kind of hurt myself. I'm done.
You know what? I don't feel like doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying like a year.
I'm saying like
I got you.
I'm saying like Ohio State. Oh shoot, we lost a game already. Yeah, we're not gonna go to the national championship. I'm gonna start thinking about the draft. Or Alabama, like you get upset. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if they lose one game, but if they lose a second game, it's like, let's just move on, right? Like those type of things it's gonna be interesting.
That'll be interesting moving forward.
I think the Ravens were an interesting story all year with Lamar Jackson. The first time that he really got hurt, and everybody said these injuries might catch up to a guy like this that just runs all the time.
Who said that?
I'm throwing you a bone here because you hate him so much for some reason.
I don't hate him. I just hate how everybody loves him.
Right. That totally makes sense. But no, it caught up to them, right? As a team, and he was not. And maybe
he was the second best quarterback on that.
I was going to just say it might not be their guaranteed starter going into next year. We'll see.
No, I think that's a good one. Mike, is anything stand out to you other than your Packers?
Nope. I'd say the biggest disappointment was Washington football team got a new name. Are you kidding me?
That is a
Come
disappointment,
on, man.
That is
I was really getting used to the football team.
Big disappointment on that one. How we sitting on time? Oh, we're sitting really good. All right. So, worst to first in the AFC. Who do you guys think will go worst first? The Bengals went from worst to the Super Bowl. So, let's look at the worst teams in the AFC.
Also, we did this last year. I think we all picked the Bengals to go worst to first.
I think you're right. I might have taken the Lions, but I don't think I was that stupid.
I think we did an NFC AFC thing, but anyway.
Did we?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so AFC, Jets, Ravens, Jags, and Broncos. Who do you think out of those teams has the best chance to go worst first?
Ravens, no question.
Well, I was thinking Broncos. They just need a quarterback.
do.
And honestly, the Jets are not a bad choice here. I don't know.
I would take the Jags over the Jets, personally.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
The Jags?
Yeah.
Why are you smiling
Trevor
like
Lawrence. Look, I mean, they got a ton of cap space.
The Jets have a better
They
quarterback
got
than
rid of.
Jags.
You think Zach Wilson's better?
I told you that last year.
I know you told me that last year,
Yeah.
but you still think that?
Yeah. Did you watch the last 6 games he played?
I did not watch a single Zach Wilson snap.
All right, man. He's looking pretty good.
You think Dougie P is going to get it done in Jacksonville this year?
Why not, man? Why not? But I think Broncos. I really do. Because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to the Broncos, and then I think they're going to win.
Ooh, like
the division.
He elevates them and brings them to that next
boy.
level.
Yeah.
What a division.
Yeah.
What a division to go to.
That would be a tough division to go to. But that's where I would go with the Broncos. So now I'm going to move over to the NFC. Giants, Lions, Panthers, and Seahawks. Which one do you guys think goes?
It was foolish not going with the Ravens, by the way.
Worst to first.
We just got cute on that one.
No, I don't think so. I think this is a tough division.
All right, anyways.
The
NFC.
Ravens are with the Bengals, Steelers, Cleveland could have a nice bounce back, right?
Yeah, Ravens should be our pick there, but our point is we're thinking outside the box, right? Yeah. So
I mean,
NFC.
if he can stay healthy, then the Ravens might be okay.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson.
This next
He won't.
one's
He won't.
this next one's really interesting though.
Yeah, so obviously I already said Rodgers is leaving and going to the Broncos. So that opens up the Lions division, right?
Sure would.
I'm not ready to do that, especially because I think the Panthers have a better path. Because there were the Saints, right? So,
Saints,
look, I'm not really good. No, it's Saints, Buccaneers, Falcons, Panthers, right?
I don't know.
Can we pull that
I
up?
don't know.
Somebody pull it up. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
I got you.
But anyways, I think the Panthers are just as much a quarterback away as the Broncos. They're pretty similar teams. What are the Panthers start out like 6-0, 6-1 or something like that?
They were a good team.
And then they lost the rest of the games, I think, or something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I? Look at me with the divisions, just locking it down.
It's a light division for sure.
I think other teams are set up better than the Lions. I look at the Lions and look, wait till crazy month in August, September, and I'm gonna be flying high. The way I usually do.
Yokuda.
The Lions are gonna be one player away, and I'm gonna be all excited because we're gonna draft that player.
We drafted him. We drafted 6 of them.
But the thing that scares me about our division is I think the Bears. I don't like long-term Bears, but I think they could have a flash and have that year if the Packers don't. I think the Packers are still set up to be decent even without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think
they can
really
figure it out.
competitive.
I really think they can.
Going to depend on a lot in the next 3 weeks. A lot.
But I don't think you guys drafted your first-round quarterback already, so you should be able to just plug and play.
He'll always do that.
You never know.
I don't think
You're
Love,
gonna really hate saying this if Jordan Love ends up being a stud.
Yeah, I don't think he's as bad as
he looked.
He looked. Yeah, no, for real. I don't think he's that bad.
We'll see.
But the Packers are a good team. They have pieces around. Now they all might start leaving if Aaron's not there. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm not going to get into the betting favorites. I don't really want to do that. I do have other questions though for you guys.
Okay.
And I was hoping that John could pull these out of a hat, but he has a stomach bug, allegedly.
Yeah, quote, unquote.
Quote, unquote, stomach bug. I do have some more questions, though.
Spit.
I'm gonna put
questions.
music behind that. Is that all right?
That's good.
I just want
That's
to do
good.
it quick. I want to do it quick.
Don't get us kicked off of Facebook again, please.
I'm going to pretend that I'm pulling them out of a hat, but I'm just going to read from the top, okay?
Ooh, nice.
First question. Oops, holding up. Where will Aaron Rodgers play in 2022? Ryan.
Green Bay.
Micah.
Green Bay.
I agree.
Unfortunately,
that was fun. All right, next question. Who will be picked for Hard Knocks?
who are the Detroit Lions.
I think it's written on the wall.
Yep.
All right, next
With all
question.
those characters, coaches.
I really wish I
characters.
had more drama behind these questions. But will Deshaun Watson play? And if so, for who?
Now this is a tough question.
That's a good question.
I knew he wasn't going to play this last year, and
Pretty
I almost
obvious.
thought about that. Huh?
Pretty obvious that he wasn't going to play this year, or last year.
Yeah. Well, they didn't make up their mind for a long time though. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm torn on this
I
one.
You
say
got to have an answer.
I say that he plays. Him and his lawyers get everything figured out, get that swept under the rug like they always do, and he goes to Pittsburgh.
That's an interesting one.
They
Yes.
need a QB. They're not looking for someone to start over
I think-
because they have Mason Rudolph already.
I think he plays, and I think he plays for the Denver Broncos
Really?
because Aaron Rodgers is going to stay in Green Bay, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Might be good for the Lions for him to stay.
You want to go to the Lions?
Who?
Sean
Sean
Watson. I don't think they'd take him.
I don't think they'll take him, but why
No.
not? I would.
Yeah, no, I think he plays it too. I don't have a team.
For who?
Broncos.
All right.
Carolina Panthers.
Okay, with the Bengals doing what they did, are they a top 5 team heading into the season? Or was this just the stars aligning to go on this type of run?
A top 5 team?
I don't
Yeah.
think they're top 5.
No, I'd say top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10 easy. Top 5 no.
I don't think they're top 10. I don't think they're top 5. Top 10, I even wonder a little bit. I wonder if this is the flash bad division, a lot of injuries. I mean, the best team in the division was Steelers with Big Ben at quarterback, right? So it's like, I don't know. I think that division was very far down. And what they had, 10 wins? They were only 10-7.
How much all in were they this year with their cap? Like,
I honestly don't know. I think they do have a lot of cap space, and that's where I
they have
think
like $50
if
million
they
to
spend it right heading into the year, they can kind of redo this thing and upgrade and get better. Just feels like they got to figure out the core for, like, they need to figure out an offensive line for this team to be in the playoffs next year.
Yeah,
if they want a
I think they're
QB.
like maybe the 4th best team in the AFC. That's kind of where I have them pegged.
Yeah. All right. With OBJ's 2021 drama and his injury, will he ever be a number 1 wide receiver again?
Absolutely not.
OBJ?
Yeah.
No, not with the injury.
It's kind of already downhill, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Bengals kicker, McPherson is his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He stayed on the field during the halftime show. He didn't go in the locker room with his team.
Why?
You have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even as a kicker?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're part of the team. You're
It's
wearing
stupid.
the jersey.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
He really did.
And yeah, there's a picture of him just sitting on a bench like with this smug look on his face. I'm like, that dude needs to be done.
Isn't he from
No.
Florida?
I think so.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Well, I don't know where. Like, I think he went to school in Florida. I don't know.
I thought he went to University of Florida.
Yeah, he did. I don't know if he's from Florida, but
Well, that explains plenty.
it does explain a lot.
Enough.
All right, what grade do you give the halftime show? 0 to 10. You know how we roll.
0
0 to 10?
I'll give it a 6.3.
6-3.
Yeah.
Micah.
That's 7.5, and that was being nice.
Yeah, I don't like halftime shows.
Yeah, me either.
I think they're very overrated, but I did enjoy that one. I found myself tapping my toe a little bit. Being like,
for
man,
sure.
this is a good song. I forgot about this song.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige was a little
Over the top. Falling down.
literally
Yeah.
literally over the top. I'm surprised that thing could hold her. Shout out to the people that built that set and held those thighs on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. She's thick. She is. I can say that, right?
I don't know. I don't know what you're allowed to say.
I can't believe
think
that thing
that's a
could hold her
compliment.
up.
I don't think that's a
Oh,
compliment.
man.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying she probably should have wore more clothes.
All I'm saying is I think they should have gone for more songs for each one of them. It seems like they just had
They
like
just
one
went right
song,
through.
and it went fast actually.
Yeah. It was
But
pretty good.
with that many performers, that's what you get though.
All right. Last question. Maybe I'll say outside of Aaron Rodgers, which is the most intriguing quarterback controversy going on out there? So you got, and it might just be like a massive hole on a good team, you know? But like you got Rodgers, which I said you can't talk about. But, Buccaneers without Tom Brady, they're moving on. You got Saints
Jimmy
not
G.
knowing what they're going to do. Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. You got Kyler Murray. What did he do? Wash his phone in water or something like that? Like, I don't know what he did, but he did something on the social medias. He, like, washed his Instagram or something of all of that stuff. Like, there's a lot of... And we haven't got into Russell Wilson sitting next to the commissioner. Like,
Yeah.
That was weird.
it doesn't seem legal. Ryan brought that up when we were watching. He goes, how is that not tampering? How is that legal to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Is he like the head of the NFL
Players Association,
yeah.
he might
I
be.
think he's on it.
He might. That's
that
probably
might have
what
been.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Which one's the most
negotiating.
intriguing to you guys?
I think
And you
Kyler
can-
Murray.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it because I know like Aaron Rodgers is the obvious choice, but Kyler Murray is what everybody's pegged as like the next up and coming star talent in
Yeah.
the league. They tried to make him a face of the league this year, and
And
once
that
again
failed.
he kind of let everybody down.
Man.
And now there's turmoil in Arizona. Like think about all the first round picks that they've wasted trying to find a quarterback, and they still don't have their guy. If
Did
there's
you see the reports that came out? Was it today or yesterday? That like he refused to go back on the field in the playoff game. He
Really?
refused to. In his body language, I've been saying that about this dude
you have
since day one. I'm like, this guy's body language is not made to be an NFL quarterback. Period. Pretend, even if you have a bad attitude, like That guy, I don't know. I think he could be out of the league here soon, playing the Athletics here soon for the Oakland A's. Right? That one's interesting.
Tigers.
That one's interesting. Mike, which one stands out to you?
I think equally. I think Russell Wilson stands out quite a bit. I mean, he's been such a hot name, the last 10 years, doing good things on the West Coast, and quite honestly, I just feel like Seattle's done building around him. They want him to do way more than what he can do. I just don't see where this marriage goes any further, to be quite frank.
Yeah, I would agree with both of you guys on that. I think they're both very interesting. I would almost put both of those ahead of Aaron Rodgers, just because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is ready to be done. And it's like this will be his final year. Where is it going to be? Is he trying to do double middle fingers to Green Bay? Or is he going to try to do it one more year with Green Bay? And then that's done. Whereas like Russell Wilson, I feel like they're the next. That's the next Saints organization right there. They're in cap hell. Their coach is old. Like, the bomb is about to be dropped on that organization, and it is going to explode and be ugly for years to come. That one's interesting. Kyler Murray is very interesting, too. That one, I don't know. They're all just the quarterback cares. And maybe we should do that, is put, like, all of the quarterback names on the spinning wheel, and as soon as it comes up, we're just like, this is where he's going to go. This is what he's going to do. Deshaun Watson even could be part of this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is just crazy. Like, there's usually not... Quarterbacks are the one position that doesn't get moved very often. And this is just...
Pete
gonna be interesting.
Pete Carroll is the GM for them, too, right? Out there?
I don't think so.
I mean,
he might have full control of, like, roster and stuff, but...
No.
I don't think he's the GM, technically, but I'm sure he has a lot of say in all of it all. But yeah, those are the heading into the off-season questions that we had for today.
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it. This is State of My Sports.
Last week, Thursday, was the NBA trade deadline.
Yeah.
And the Pistons made a move. Let's start with what the move that they made. Can you tell us a little about that, Ryan?
Yeah, so the news came out on Thursday that there was a trade that was completed. Let's see, the Pistons acquired forward Marvin Bagley III from Sacramento Kings. They gave up in exchange Josh Jackson, forward, Trey Lyles, and I think what ended up being two second round draft picks. Yeah.
And this was a 4-team deal, so it's not like these guys went directly to the Kings. I don't know where they all went. Like, it gets so confusing. But the bottom line is what we gave up and what we got in return.
Yeah.
So Marvin Bagley III. Young, 22-year-old still. He's actually almost 23. He was drafted
second
overall by the Kings in 2018. 3 years experience. It hasn't really clicked. Sounds like, on a bad organization.
Yep.
Pistons. What do you think about this trade?
I love it. I think it's a great trade, and there's a lot of. I'm not expecting the biggest impact out of this trade, but it could be, and that's the point. That's the point of the trade, is the high upside. Again, second overall draft pick. He's a big body, 6'11", 235 pounds, but he has touch around the rim. Like, he actually is a good finisher. He can shoot the ball. I think what he's been missing is developing his feel for the game, and that's just it hasn't come through the Kings organization in a long time, and it's an organization that it kind of ruins players, and I think that this is just another example of that. He didn't have a role. It sounds like he almost had a really bad relationship from the very beginning with the Kings, and it's been in turmoil for a couple of years.
Which is kind of the Kings' MO, right? Like,
it really is, yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a low risk, high reward, right?
Yeah. And really, Josh Jackson has been eating up minutes recently where he wasn't adding value. There are some things that I really like about Josh Jackson, but he was very equivalent to Marvin Bagley, actually.
Okay.
In the same draft, he went 2 picks later, and he was our experiment. We wanted to know if he was going to live up to that talent, and he showed flashes, but he didn't live up to it, so why hold on to him? Why lose that asset that we traded to get, or I guess signed Josh Jackson. But then pair him up with a guy who has been playing some pretty good basketball, but he's not a long-term future asset in Trey Lyles, and pair him up and go get a young potential stud.
So he is a potential stud still, you would say?
He could be. He could develop into that, but I think more he could fill the role that we need him to fill.
Yeah.
And he really could be our center of the future, meaning that we're not building around him. It doesn't mean that he's not a building block, but he's not the primary focus of.
He's not our number 2 overall pick.
Exactly. That's the best point of this whole thing is like, we just need him to eat minutes. We need him to play good defense. We need him to be 6'11", 235 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's athletic. He can move around, drive to the basket, take easy points when they're there, but we're not going to rely on you to run the offense through you. I don't need him to be Joel Embiid. And so that's
what he was drafted to be.
Absolutely.
And when you're not that, and you're drafted that high, so I mean, it's kind of like if we had to get rid of Yokuda, the Lions had to get rid of Yokuda. It's like he's no longer the 3rd overall pick, and that label's over him anymore. Now he's just, hey, we just traded 2 guys for you, and this is it, right? Like, start over. We don't care where you were picked. Just go play football. And now all of a sudden he becomes a good player in the league, but maybe not the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're hoping here with Bagley. Now, his contract, do we have an option heading into next year, or is it like his contract is up and we got to have that, like, right signing type thing?
I believe he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. So we have first dibs on him, and we can match any contract that comes through. But I think the important part with him is he just wants to find his spot. He needs to find a role on a team that was not the Kings anymore. Okay. So if he gels with the guys, and I think that was important to him, is all the players in the locker room, but also the leadership down, do they believe in him? Okay. So if you're trading for a guy, that automatically puts you in a good spot, to try to develop.
Yeah.
I think when I watched him play, and I tried to do as much research on him as possible, I remember him coming out of school. He played at Duke and really dominated for a while in college because of his athleticism and because he's got a different kind of athletic body. He would dominate the college game. But in the pros, he hasn't learned when to use his athleticism and when not to. And I think the feel for the game is what he's lacking at this point. He can drive to his left, get around a guy, but then when help comes, he doesn't know whether to pass to the open guy over there or just throw up a hook shot, and he's wild. And he plays defense the same way. He got quick feet. He can stay in front of people, but he jumps at weird times, and like it just hasn't clicked. And I don't know if he just needs a mentor or somebody to work with him, or if that'll never come. I don't know, but it's worth the risk.
Now, do we have that mentor? Like, we don't really have anybody that he can learn behind, right? Like, it's basically he's going to be thrown to the wolves, right? Because we got to learn if he's going to work in the Pistons organization before we give him a new contract or whatever happens. So, I mean, is there somebody as like a coach that fits to kind of hope to change that mentality, or like what do you see here?
Well, yeah, we're relying on the coaches to do that, but there's going to be competition now. So Isaiah Stewart is our center, but he's undersized, and there are some good and bad things about him too. What Isaiah Stewart doesn't have is the natural length and height. Marvin Bagley has that. He's got like a 7'2" wingspan.
Okay.
And he has that big body. And now there will be competition within the Pistons locker room that you don't know who should be the starter or not.
Yeah.
And both guys are young and think they deserve it and all this stuff. And so maybe it means that one guy ends up being a bench role and that just becomes his role on the team, or he gets mad and he leaves the team. I don't care either way. I just want a winner.
Yeah.
In the end.
Nope, that's fair. The other thing that didn't happen, I guess, was not moving Jeremy Grant. Is it the second missed opportunity to move this guy? I think we kind of have different opinions on this.
Yeah, you think?
According to our text messages group. But all right, well, why not? Why is it the right decision to not move Jeremy Grant?
Because the right offer was not there.
All right. Based on
all reports leading into the draft, even like the trade deadline, going into this, people were starting to say that there was not the market that everybody thought.
But how do you go from dozens of teams being interested in Jeremy Grant to not moving the guy?
Because
the right offer was
interest is not offers. And I don't think that necessarily translated. Now, I did hear a report that there was a trade offer that came through that included a first-round pick, but the Pistons wanted 2 first-round picks for him. And they said they held their ground and said, no, we're holding out for 2, and that offer never came. It's really possible that was with the Kings, actually, for a different
Bagley,
type.
Right?
Yeah, maybe other players too.
Okay.
In the mix, but yeah, I think when the Indiana Pacers sold their whole team away, it kind of took some leverage away from the Pistons.
Yeah, that was kind of. I remember when that trade happened, and I don't remember like the names that were part of it and stuff, but I remember that happening and being like everybody saying, "Oh, that was the Pistons trade partner."
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the Pacers or the other teams that were involved, but it was like, okay, that kind of put a halt to what was going on. And it sounds like GM Weaver,
Troy Weaver,
told Jeremy Grant that he wasn't going to be moved pretty early on in the process, like a couple days even before the deadline, that was going to happen. Which, look, I don't like setting a tone here. And if it's the 1 first-round pick compared to the 2 first-round picks, that's where I'm just going to be like, well, your 2 first-round picks were about 2 potential playoff runs for a team, right? So the team that was going to take Jeremy Grant wants those 2 playoff runs. Now all of a sudden they have 1. So let's say we trade him at the draft or mid next year. It's 1 year. That's all they have now. So that just diminishes his value there for the true value that you would get in return. So, like, just by saying no to this is like, well, you're going to get the same offer, if not worse, next year, especially if he keeps doing what he's doing,
but
playing terrible,
But
right?
they're already talking about extensions and everything else. So all they need to do is re-sign him to a similar contract, and then next year his buzz can be just as high as it was this year. So I don't know how relevant the 1 year left really is, because that changes. They can change that at any time. And also, I think what the Pistons did not get this year is a chance to look at all of their guys playing at the same time. Jeremy Grant and Cade Cunningham have barely played together. We haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I think in the minds of the Pistons right now, they're building based off of length. And you see it with Marvin Bagley, 6'11", long arms, big athletic body. Then if you pair that with Jeremy Grant, who might end up playing, let's just say the 4 or even the 3 eventually. But either way, tall, athletic, lanky guy who can score. Then you go Sadiq Bey. He's a big, strong, tall athlete. Then Cade Cunningham, 6'6", 6'7", point guard, tall, athletic. I mean, that's what they're building around. Then Amadou Diallo, super athletic. I mean, that's their MO. They're trying to have. I just think they're trying to have like a wall of long, athletic, long arm guys. A
lot like the Lakers were in their heyday, right? That was kind of weren't they all about length?
Yeah,
and
like
athleticism.
Rick
Not necessarily
and
not athleticism. That's probably a bad, but the length was their key with their.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example of that, like a different team that's built that way.
Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs
in their
did
heyday.
For a while. Yeah,
but they did have the short.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
It does.
Board,
for sure. I don't know. I just looked at it as a missed opportunity, because in the way I'm looking at it, and I brought it up for the Lions, I brought it up for the Red Wings before, is the quantity over quality. The Pistons are in rebuild mode, or restore mode, to stick to Weaver's verbiage. Like, quantity is so important, because then you can miss on a Killian Hayes and still make out good with taking Stewart and Bey in a draft, right? Like, that's where we need to be. Well, because we're going to miss on, I mean, most NBA draft picks miss, right? It might be 50-50 at this point. The way that these guys are coming out so young, and you don't really know, they don't develop. Do they develop late? Are they gone by the time they're developing? Like, it's a crapshoot. And the NBA is a disaster with the way the one and done works, and it's just not working out very well for really college or NBA. And I'm just looking at it, it's like, I want more opportunities to get lucky and get the right guy. And I looked at Jeremy Grant, and people talk about how, hey, we're underpaying him, and it's great that we have this player. He's one of our better players, if not the best player currently, all due to respect to Cade, but he's just young. But, like, what was he, mid-second round pick? So if we can get, late first-round picks, that's still upgrading. If we can get 2 or 1 first-round pick and a second-round pick and a player, and you turn that into moving up to get the right player, all of those things, like that's where like my brain goes like, I don't want to settle. I'd rather have this ammo to move up and get the player you want. Because you see movement constantly in the NBA draft. Players moving, getting drafted by the Kings, but going to the Rockets, and it's just very confusing. And there's just all this movement. It's like I want to be that team that has the ability to move and has the ability to build, our quantity of picks and go get the right guy. That's where I just look at this. I'm like, it's disappointing. If he walks, in my head, he's going to walk. Like the extension could happen, and then I'm right there with you guys and be like, okay, it's the right move because then his value is still there. But based on the offseason last year of him talking to certain players and almost sounding like he wanted to be out at times with the going to the Olympics and all that stuff, it's like if that's what he was saying, he's going to walk when he can. That's what I keep telling myself. So that's where the divide I think really is if we can re-sign him, you're right, and we're going to get his value. If he walks, I'm right, and we got nothing out of the great deal that we got of a sleeper, if you will, in free agency.
I think the point of the whole conversation all goes back to purgatory, though, because what do we want to be out of purgatory?
Yes.
We either want to be bad or really good.
Yep.
And this whole middling thing didn't work for the Pistons for a decade and a half.
Yep.
So I think my point is by keeping Grant, that's not keeping us in any kind of purgatory. That's not keeping us in the middle of the pack because we have the worst record in basketball again now.
Yeah.
Like the Magic have more wins than us again. So we have the worst record in the NBA. We will get a top guaranteed 4 pick
top
going
5
into next
pick.
year.
I think top 5. The bottom 3 have the same odds, and then they can only fall to 5. I think I heard that today. I just want to.
Did that change from last year?
I think it's the same. I think
if it's the same,
I think the
year,
top 3
will drop to 4 at the worst.
Okay. All right.
But because you
that's being number 1.
Below.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so if we get one of those, I think the reason Marvin Bagley was important is because now we have talent or quote unquote talent, I guess, across the board at different positional groups. So the Pistons can get their guy that they want, and they're not filling a need. They don't feel pressure to go get a center just because they need a center. They're like, well, we got this young guy that might develop into something. Let's get the guy we really want.
Okay.
And so that was the point of the Marvin Bagley trade. But not trading Grant, again, they don't know what they don't have at this point. And basketball is not the same as the other sports where quantity is that important because you're not trying to fill a roster of 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, 55, 54 guys in the locker room, or hockey with 4 lines, 5 lines. You're not trying to fill all those holes. Baseball is the same way. Basketball is so unique that you need the right players that fit together the right way. And it's way more of, if Troy Weaver's looking at Jeremy Grant, he says, you know what, you might not be contributing to us winning right now, but if I surround you with 2 first overall draft picks and a couple of former second rounders or second overalls,
yeah,
and with Jeremy Grant kind of as the 30-year-old guy who's more mature than the rest of them, who's unshakable, and he just has like a pretty even keel attitude. I don't know. That's probably his vision, and he fits all the boxes of guarding the LeBrons on the other side. Jeremy Grant's your guy to do that.
That's fair. Even though LeBron will be out of the league by the time.
No, he won't. He's trying to stick around to
just play with his brother, play with his son. Which when does he come out?
He just needs to make sure his son's good enough to be in the NBA.
Is he not that good?
I'm not convinced. I've seen him get schooled in high school.
Is that going to be another ball situation?
Lonzo and
he'll be good enough. He'll be good enough because he really is. He's a beast. You can already tell. Like he's big, strong, just like his dad.
Yeah,
so he'll probably be fine.
All right. Is that it for the Pistons?
Yeah,
then?
let's move on.
Let's keep it. Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
From the Red Wings to Michigan State, we're talking about it. This is State of My Sports.
We are in our final results for our Betting Hero picks. Before we get into that, Ryan, can you explain Betting Hero to our listeners?
Yeah, of course. Guys, bettinghero.com for the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, that's past. Bettinghero.com, promo code MIBETS. They'll give you all the best promo codes available at any time that you go on there. They automatically renew to the very next best offer for any of the betting platforms that you choose to use. And so again, bettinghero.com, promo code MIBETS.
All right. Well, the winner of our Betting Hero picks of the year, Micah Smith.
Let's go.
Boo.
Let's go. Where's my music? Yeah. I'll take the time.
I got to re-listen to last week because I don't know how 3 of us went 5-3.
We did. We all went 5-3.
That's
So
insane.
Micah went 5-3. Ryan 5-3. I went 5-3. Kyle 4-4. So the results are in. Micah finished the season first overall, 87-76.
Let's go.
That's not bad. That's good.
Let's go. It's respectable.
That's good. I would take that.
Nice job.
Second, Ryan, 86-77.
Oh.
One game away.
1 game away.
You
What was
guys
gonna
should
happen
listen
if we
to every
tied?
single episode and make sure I did it right.
Oh, yeah. I will.
You guys should do that.
I will.
It's only 26 weeks of picks. I think it was 26.
What'd you say?
What was going to happen if we tied?
The tie is a wash, and then third place gets the win.
Oh.
So we know
Well
you didn't
done.
cheat. then.
Well done.
I went 5-3 and finished 83-80 overall. Kyle brought up the rear, 4-4 last week to finish 81-82. The only one under 500.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, if you just listen to our picks, everybody, you've listened to any of our 3 picks, you would have made money this year.
Yeah.
Just stick to
It's that easy. You just have to bet
guess-
162 times.
I guess if that's not true with the minus 110s and all that good stuff. But we were all over 500. That's important, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
163
Heck yeah.
times, sorry.
Can we breeze over the adopt the playoff team?
Oh, I forgot to do that. I don't know who took who, to
That's
be honest
okay.
with you.
I won that too.
Oh, look at you.
Did you really?
Humble.
Yeah.
He's humble too, folks. He's humble.
I learned it from you guys. I love you guys.
Expired.
Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a few weeks off from our betting hero
Feels
picks.
good.
But I will put together my Wednesday parlays that never seem to win.
We're back to this.
But we're going to do it anyways because why not? So I'm going to put together a parlay tomorrow for everybody that listens right away. Get it
Are
in
you
there.
actually going to do this parlay?
I'm going to do it, and I will send the screenshot too.
All right.
So I'm going to take the Minnesota Wild to win. I'm going to take the Pistons. I'm going to take the points. They play the Celtics. Celtics are on a back-to-back. I don't know how they did against the 76ers, but that's a bigger game. They're going to be a little tired, so I'm assuming the Pistons will get 8.5, 9 would be my guess. I would take that. That's where I'm going to be. And then I'm going to take the over in the Canes and Panthers. I'm hoping it's 6 and not 6.5. If it's 6.5, be careful. But if it's 6, take that. At least you get the push at 6. But 5.5 would be awesome too. If you can get it at 5.5, look for that. But those will be the 3 games that I'm going to hit.
Celtics won big tonight.
Did they?
135-87 over the 76ers. We're talking
Dang.
48-point spread.
Perfect timing for the Pistons to sneak at least keep it close type thing, right? The Celtics are one of the most Jekyll and Hyde teams there are.
Yeah, except everybody didn't have to play in the fourth quarter.
Heckle and Jide.
That's true.
Nobody played 30 minutes.
All right. Well, I already stuck to it.
Anyways.
That's the hard part with this is I have to do it a day early, so whatever.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it.
No,
All right, I did hit
you
that.
stopped it.
But I tried to stop it because you said it was too long last
It
time.
was too long.
All right. Well,
That's what she said.
If it's craft beer in Michigan sports, we may not be
Can I
the
do this one too?
authority, but we love both like a fat kid loves cake. Hot, hot! This is State of My Sports.
we're gonna get into our beer grades. Micah, remind us what we're drinking tonight.
If I can read it.
It is Catching Rays.
Catching Rays. I honestly
Arvon.
cannot read the description. I'm sorry.
From Arvon Brewing Company. It is a 5% kettle sour with pineapple, coconut, and vanilla and lactose. Creamy and thick with strong coconut and pineapple that take you straight to the beachy pina coladas.
You've missed that bumper a couple times tonight.
I gotta figure out a better
That's what she said,
method.
because that was pretty.
I should have
good.
done. I should have had the. That's what she said one.
Yeah.
For what?
It's creamy and thick.
Oh,
I
that'd
mean,
have been
come
good.
on, man.
You're fired.
That would be a good one to get the
Yo.
Trump saying you're fired. I'm gonna get that.
Okay.
Anyways,
That's what we're drinking.
That's what we're drinking from Arvon Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. To be honest with you, I was not planning on drinking Arvon tonight,
Really?
but I completely forgot to get beer, and I was like, "Oh boy, what do I got? Arvon." So
Just roll out the
I mean,
barrel,
we got to get more. I mean, especially now that we're all doing one, we got to start stretching ourselves a little bit more with different breweries. I feel like we've been right in our comfort zone since we started this the first of the year.
It's not a
So
bad thing to be comfortable.
I
no,
love
that's true.
comfort.
Yeah, comfortable.
I do
is
love
nice.
comfortable. I'm still wearing pajama pants.
Same.
You didn't have to prove it.
Red Wing pajama pants. I didn't have to, but I did.
Closest ones to winning a championship, maybe in Detroit.
I would say the Lions.
Let's talk about that next week or the week after.
Let's just add to their sheet for next week.
Yeah.
What?
That's really interesting.
The closest one now
Yeah.
might be the Tigers, though.
Okay.
Could be.
I was surprised you didn't say that one.
We're actually all really good, except for the Pistons. Not really good. None of us are really good.
Yeah, the Lions are going to have the second overall pick. Pistons will get the first overall pick. Lions second.
And 32nd.
And 36. Huge.
Huge. All right. Beer grades.
Beer grades. What do you think about this one, Micah? Great kettle sour, huh?
It's great. It never fails from these guys. I just don't even know what to say anymore. It's a good beer. It's yet another kettle sour. They crushed it, hit it out of the park. I'm going to go an 8.3.
8.3. It's a good score. What I really like about this one is it just like reminds me of summer. And I just cannot wait for summer. Like, I'm so excited. Easton looks at me the other day. He goes, I think we should open the pool. I'm like, what?
Did you really?
Yeah. I'm like, he's like, how long till summer? Because we're opening the pool. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. It's still a ways off. But he just seemed like
a swimming pool.
He's out there under the deck tomorrow taking the ties
I'm
off.
wondering if he just wants to ice skate on it. Maybe that's what it is.
Probably.
That's not a bad idea either. Just keep that thing open and just make it a little pond. Does that work that way?
Not for an above ground pool.
No.
No. Or
Below ground
a
pools
below
either.
ground pool, yeah.
So no. No to that.
Correct, yeah.
We should really do that though. But are we done for the day?
Did you give it a grade?
8.6.
Ooh, there you go.
Good catch.
Thank you for correcting that or fixing that.
Thank you for
Or
your
telling me
struggles.
that. Thank
I'd
you.
give it an 8.5 too. I've had it before. I drink that in
You
Florida.
did. You drank it. Did you drink some at the? We'll talk to you next week if not sooner.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
You've been listening
Rockford
to
Brewing
State of
Company.
My Sports.
Something
From the
hoppy
Red Wings
for
to the
Carey.
Lions, to the
7.9.
Tigers, to the Pistons, to Michigan and Michigan State, and everything in between. We're talking about it. And don't forget the beer. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. In the meantime, hook up with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at State of My Sports with an MI. We'll see you next time.